female friend, whatever the case is, if you're close to me and you don't like helping people, we ain't gonna be close that long. Because I'll sacrifice the last little bit of gas to have to drive somebody somewhere if I can. Do you know what I'm saying? If you need this and I can do it, and it ain't crazy and you ain't taking advantage of me, I'll do it. And sometimes I know you're taking advantage of me, and sometimes I do it. But everybody don't think like me. The evidence is, my brother called me this morning. We were talking. And every time something happens with employment or my money, the first thing you say is, you need to stop driving all the people around you drive around. We don't think about it the same way. My attitude is, dude, that's the reason I got a car. God gave me the car so I can put people in it. Because I can't sit in 4 seats. Well, I got a car with 4 seats, and I'm the only person riding it all the time. So, as I start running those things, if I meet somebody that don't make sense to, don't understand it, dude, this is easy. We figured this out. I met a girl one time, real cool. She was all these things, and she had something she needed to do. I helped her with it. We put together this big presentation she was doing for some debutante thing, and it was great. It was really good. She said, I really want you to come. They can see you because you helped me with it. I said, I want to be there. Food, too. Yeah, these are my honest thoughts. I'm thinking all this stuff. This is great. I'm going to go there for a little bit. We're having like a special service at the church, and then I'm going to come back to the church. Right? My first commitment is to my leaders. I'm walking out the church, and my pastor's like, hey, Crump, why don't you open up prayer tonight for service? I said, okay. Called him, texted her, yo, I'm not going to make it to the thing. Now, I've helped you with the presentation. You just want me to show up and show my face. Everything that you need done is done. She's like, why? Because I got to open up service tonight. Pastor has to do it. You can't tell them no? I'm not going to tell them no because that comes first. Yo, you a punk. I mean, like, this is how the conversation went. I'm a punk now. Because I want to tell my pastor off to come to your debutante.
Wow.
And we ain't dating or nothing. Now, I'm being emotional and being carnal. Yo, she's pretty because she was gorgeous. She's accomplished. Her parents got dope because their parents were like super rich. But I was like, yo, that right there answered it. We don't even have to visit this anymore. You visited, we visited it. It's visited. But if you call the ministry. If you call the ministry, that means whoever you're with is going to have to share you with other people. I know that. If you can't share me, dude, that's a wrap. It's not going to work. And by default, people will come to you. If you don't like people coming asking you questions for help, you don't like helping people, it ain't going to work. If all you focus on is you and your 30-year plan, your 5-year plan. I was talking to a girl, she's like, I have a plan. And one of those things in the plan is to be married by the time I'm 30. And it's so frustrating because I can't meet anybody decent, and the one person that's decent that I meet don't want to date nobody. And she was talking to me about me, and I was just like, well, I'm sorry. I don't want to date. Now, in general, I don't. I probably would date you. But you're real cool. But I told her, I was like, yo, you might have a plan, you might have a time period, but if God had to be submitted to your time period, then that would make you God and not him. So, what if he doesn't do it in your time frame? She's like, that's not what I want to hear. I don't care what you want to hear. This is the truth. The point I'm trying to make is, what if you meet somebody that is in no real way submitted to God? What are you going to do then? God tells you to do something they don't want you to do. I ain't talking about nothing crazy or reckless. God told you to jump off a 20-story building. Say, for me, my rent was due. I had lost my job. My rent was $1,400. $1,400. Well, I got evicted. Ironically enough, I didn't do that. I still wasn't making enough money. Not important. So we have a revival, and every night they got asked for an offering. And my mother had gave me some money. And I'm like, yo, it would be kind of crazy for me to get this money offering. What's wrong with me? But I kept feeling led to do it. So I did. It's like $70. It was like, he asked for $50. Then he asked for $100. Man, I gave over $200 and I owe somebody $1,400. But the thing is, I had to have the whole $1,400 to get evicted. So the $200 that I gave won't go save me. So I obeyed God. What if I had a wife that was like, no? Dude, can I tell you? I had to have the money by Friday at 4:15, 5:15, and at 5:30, and at 5:15 Friday, I was giving them the last $60 I owed them on the $1,400. But I obeyed God. What if I was with somebody that don't think like me and know how the faith I got? Yo, for real, dude, you're not giving out money in church. Dude, that's an argument to have. Because how do you explain that? Ever since I saw year one, I thought about how I would explain to somebody that doesn't believe in God, something that God said to me. Year one, you guys never say anything funny. But if you're like super sensitive about church stuff and you don't really believe, don't watch it. Because instead of seeing in the movie, Abraham was sacrificing Isaac, and no, he was telling, because in scripture God told Abraham, as a sign of the covenant, circumcise yourself and everybody works for you. You know? Think about that for a second. Some invisible boy just told you that nobody else heard to cut the foreskin off your penis and you grown.
Yeah.
And everybody that works for you, and now you have to go explain this to everybody else. What if they don't trust you? Think about that. So think about telling your wife this invisible voice that she'll believe God. This invisible voice just told you to give this much money and you owe this much money. How crazy you gonna look, guys? So you gotta make sure they believe like you believe. If they don't, dude, you're gonna have a lot of trouble. Because without faith, it's impossible to please God. He that cometh to God must first believe that he is a he's of water and diligently seek him. Now your wife is sanctified because you're in a relationship with God, but it don't mean your marriage is gonna be easy. I'm telling y'all this stuff, so 10 years down the line, I think y'all are lovey-dovey. And honestly, I'm telling you stuff, you'll end up like my brother. I love my brother. But I know the days that he's miserable. And I know the stuff that he do on the slide that he don't think nobody know about. Because I'm his brother. I know. And I'm like, I love you. What you're doing is wrong. But if you were better prepared for dating, you would have never married her. That's real talk. Same thing with my other brother. They doing great now. But my other brother was off the chains. I say he was off the chain. So he married her. We didn't even know he got married. But if she knew some of the stuff she knew now about him, she probably would have never married him. A lot of the time, we get in situations and we're not attentive to the signs people show us. We don't follow the proper order, and we get in bad situations. One of the easiest things for me that helped me distinguish what I should and shouldn't date, and it sounds crazy, but one of the things the Bible talks about, I only mention this when immoral women, strange women in the Bible, they're always the aggressors. Like, yo, for real, can I take the lead? Can you trust me enough to take the lead? Let me lead. So for me, it's just me personally, the way I always distinguish who was wrong were the people who was trying too hard. It's like, yo, for real, dude, like, you can't lead this relationship. It's not even a relationship. But like, you're too, I don't want to use the word easy, because I'm not talking about sexually. You're too available. You're too open. I shouldn't be able to have this much influence over you. You just met me. But that was always my telltale sign. In the back of my mind, I would be like, nope. Why? Because I'm consuming too much of you and your mental capacity and stuff, and you just met me. I'm a stranger. Didn't you think about your future, what you want to do with your life, what you want to accomplish, your goals, your dreams, blah, blah, blah. They ask me if I want to come to your house every day. Little stuff like that tells you a lot. People that are needy, have too much time for you, have too much time in general. Like, what do you do when I'm not around? Do you think about the person that you want to be around when ain't nobody around? Because people actually do that. I'm like, man, I wish somebody was here. I wish this would happen. I wish that would happen. But somehow we got onto this whole day. All I'm saying is keep your eyes open. The Bible always tells us to be sober. To be sober means to be clear-minded and level-headed. as you approach situations.